here. A75.
All right, it just flipped. All right, I see us on screen.
All right. Podcast. Sorry. Yeah, I just tweeted on now.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody on?
Arctic is on. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Arctic. You know, my laptop is acting. I should have restarted. Oh well. Fuck it. Well. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm doing something here.
Yep. No worries. Arctic says audio is good. So
Audio's good? Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is new.
All
this
right.
is a new view. Okay, cool.
What's new?
No. Just Streamlabs, OBS. Like when
Oh.
just
Yeah.
I've got a bigger preview than what they used to show before, which is actually pretty good.
That's cool.
Cool.
All right. So let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. What's up? Oh my God. Welcome to a brand new episode of Gamertag Radio, episode 875. This is your host, Danny. And also joining me this week, we have the whole Gamertag Radio crew up in here. Let's start with Pete, man. Pete, what's up?
Good morning. Happy Cinco de Drinko, May 5th.
Oh.
Cinco de Mayo.
Were you celebrating last night? Or
I was celebrating last night with many beers and hot pot, and we're good.
Oh. How are you feeling, though?
Oh, no. I'm
right now?
doing well. I'm doing well.
Okay. And also joining us, Parris. What's going on, Parris?
Hey, good morning. How is everybody?
Good, man. Good. Are you going to be celebrating today or not?
Yeah. Actually, my son and I, we're going to go fishing right after this podcast. So that's how I'm celebrating.
Nice. Very cool. All right, head over to GamertagRadio.com. Post your comments and feedback. Also, you can listen to our past episodes over there. Share with your friends if you want, or you can find us different podcast apps. Just search for Gamertag Radio, and we're there. And make sure to subscribe, post a review, and of course, once again, share it. We have a lot of topics for this episode. By the way, next week, I think it's time for us to start our Miss Leo E3 prediction, all the way from like starting next week to June. Once E3 starts and everything. So stay tuned. We have a lot of crazy predictions here, so that's gonna be. So that's starting next week. Also, at the end of the show, we're gonna talk about more about donations. We're gonna have a little update about that. So stay tuned. Give me 1 second. You hear the kids?
I do.
Yeah, now I hear it.
I can hear. This is the first time I could actually hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, they stopped. There you go. Apologies. All right. So we're going to have a conversation here about Borderlands 3. The reveal just happened a couple of days ago. And I remember getting together with P in Paris. We were watching it together and we had little conversations about everything. So at the beginning, we were kind of like, oh man, I hope we get to see some new stuff here. But overall, I think it was very positive, very, very positive. We're going to talk about that and other things later on. But first, let's focus on the reveal. And let's start with Pete, man, because I know you, Pete, you always been a fan of Borderlands, right?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Your thoughts about the reveal, man, because I think it was very, very positive overall.
Well,
great presentation.
I think the overall concern going into the reveal was the fact that with all of the new looter shooters out in this space, obviously Destiny, The Division, games in the overall looter shooter space, the concern was what is Gearbox going to do to bring it to 2019, considering it had been 5 or 6 years since their last release?
Mm-hmm.
They are the OG in the space, right? They are the ones that pretty much started this whole thing. We actually started talking about this a couple of shows back, where it was like, you know, what are some of the best looter shooters to play? And we're so in the current that we forget about sometimes those that brought this genre out. And watching it, seeing how they're no longer on quote unquote Earth, right? Sanctuary is now up in space. You've got not just the OG gameplay style of the first 2 Borderlands, but now you've got different things. They've iterated and changed things to make it better. You know, you can automatically pick up weapons. The scaling of weapons is instance based. So now if I'm level 20 and Danny is level 5 and Parris is level 15, we're all playing together, the loot that gets dropped is actually tiered to you specifically and not in general, right? So if you've got people like me who like run in and spam E and pick up all of the loot, it's not going to affect either of you that are playing with me. Things like that. They're just little minor tweaks. I see how they've picked up some of the other, they've picked up some things from other games, such as like maybe Apex with, being able to slide and things like that. Just little minor quality of life changes while still staying to the original story and gameplay and style of the Borderlands series. I'm not going to lie. I was a little hesitant. Mm-hmm. I might have a nice fat cup of, juice right now, because I'm sipping the Kool-Aid hard, man. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It looks really good. It looks really, really good. And dude, they showed a lot of cool weapons too, man, during the presentation. Was there any weapons that got your attention, Pete, during the review?
That's one of the little perks that they have is per characters. Like this guy was able to throw his turrets similar to like what you would see in The Division, but the turrets would actually turn mobile and go towards the bosses or towards the enemies as opposed to being static. Again, it's the wacky, zany gameplay shooter style that you expect from the Borderlands series, and it's looking a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
definitely, man. And Parris, what about you, man? I know we had a lot of conversation about this too behind the scenes about the game.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, like you already said, I came in very skeptical. I even said that prior to this reveal. I don't know. I don't want just what are they going to do to update this for where we are today in 2019 versus where we were, say, back in 2012 playing these type of games. And like Pete said, the biggest thing that I saw were the quality of life changes. They kept Borderlands. They kept it. It has the Borderlands feel, but they updated it for 2019, and they made little tiny tweaks for the way that we play these games now in 2019. Obviously, a big one is having the personal loot streams and having the leveling, so people can play together no matter what level that they are. It looks to work great, because obviously we didn't get hands on with it directly, but one thing that came out after the event was the fact that they're going to talk more about their in-game strategy at E3. There will be raids in Borderlands 3, and just the size of the world has grown. Just everything that we got to see. It still has the humor that comes with the Borderland type stories, everything. So overall, as much as I wasn't a huge fan of Borderlands coming into this, I mean, it's definitely piqued my interest. It's definitely I'm doing the air quotes looter shooter that I would want to check out when it comes out in September. And just again, to be perfectly frank, it was not on my radar at all until I actually got to see the gameplay, which goes to show that the reveal worked. It worked for what it should have been, was to get someone like me who was very skeptical to now pique my interest, and I want to see more. I want to get hands on with it. I want to play it. So I'm pretty excited about it, because I love these type of games. I love the co-op experience of the challenges that potentially Borderlands 3 could present. It's different enough from Destiny or The Division or Anthem that obviously it can live right alongside all those games. And if anything, it has a great shot at taking the crown from all of them and being the preferred co-op experience for those type of loot driven games, you know, here in late 2019 going into 2020. So yeah, definitely want to see more of it at E3. And then obviously we know it's coming in September for launch. So pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I know during the review we were watching it together, and I was like, man, I'm okay that they didn't mention anything about Endgame or anything like that, man. So that was really cool, right? Oh my gosh, I apologize. There's like crazy background noise.
Just push through. Just keep going.
Okay, all right. So yeah, man, like I was very happy about that. Like what I was concentrating more about, like the campaign, is it longer than the previous games? Like that's the thing that I really wanted to focus. And dude, they did a great job, because I think 45 minutes of the gameplay reveal was just strictly gameplay. That's all they were doing, just showing gameplay. And one thing that I'm really excited about, which I know they haven't really been talking about this, but crossplay, that's going to be a big thing too once they reveal that in the future.
Well, if they reveal that, right? I know people have been asking about that. People are asking on Twitter, asking him directly, and you know, I don't know. I think it's still up in the air whether they're going to go full on crossplay. Considering the fact that it's not a typical online multiplayer game, a la like Rocket League or or Fortnite, games that have already taken advantage of those things. It's primarily a PvE looter shooter. I don't see the overall longevity. I think that would be the one thing that would be the target, right? How do you continue, unless they're continuing to iterate and add more content in the form of, which I have to give it up to Gearbox. They've always been really, really strong with post-game content, right? We saw that with all three of their last releases in the franchise. How long, and kind of like what you were saying, Danny, how long will these missions be? How long will it extend the gamer and their playtime? Will you be able to get your 20 to 40 hours, which most people say is consummate to the equivalent of quality gameplay to dollar? Is this going to be something that the three of us can be seen playing a year plus after launch? Taking into account post-game launches, etc. That's the only thing, because it doesn't have that multiplayer facet to it. That's the one thing that does concern me for long-term longevity. But honestly, too, Pete, I think that it's okay that we're not playing with this. We're not playing this game like a year from now. Like the thing that I was mentioning to you guys during the stream, like, hey, look, if the campaign is long, I'm okay with that, man. I just want to have a great experience and then move on to the next game. That's fine too. But then Parris, a couple of days after that, he was telling me, oh no, they're gonna have Endgame and all this stuff. They're gonna reveal that later this year. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, it's even better. Like I think we got so used to seeing games like Destiny and The Division having Endgame and all that stuff. Like it's okay, but to me, it's okay if it's not in the game, man. If it's not in Borderlands, like I'm fine with that, man. Oh no, I'm not trying to say that experience. I'm not trying to say that multiplayer is needed. I'm just trying to say that where is Gearbox going to get the long play for gamers, right? Because the goal with any developer, and it's not just them, the goal is to bring in that player and have them stay within that ecosystem for a longer term, right? Because you have and we'll get to the to post game launch content and microtransactions discussion, because that's where the real fun, I think, begins, right?
Yeah.
But the goal is to keep players engaged in the game and playing long term. How are they going to do that aside from just content? Are they going to drop enough content that's going to satisfy the gamer? Because let's be fair. Right now in 2019, there's a lot of titles that are out currently and coming out later this year that are going to be vying for that valuable 3 to 4 hours that the standard player, the typical player, has available for gameplay. What is it that they're going to do outside of their storyline and the history of Borderlands that's going to separate them? It's going to separate Parris from Destiny and The Division. What's going to separate Peter from Apex and Division 2? What's going to separate Danny from your casual games?
What? You know, I've been noticing you always mention casual, level 5. Dude, you don't know where I'm playing. No, honestly, on purpose, I took a break from Destiny. Not Destiny, the Division. I'm probably gonna be playing that very soon. But you know, I was super excited about the content that was coming up, and then I stopped playing it. You know, but
what's going to separate? And that was just an internal joke. But what's going to separate?
I know.
What's going to separate us from our favorite current games right now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, outside. All right, the hype is going to be that first 2-week window where everybody's jumping in because it's new and it's fresh and it's not what people are currently playing. But once that adrenaline rush expires in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, when it starts to taper off, how much more are they going to offer? Let's say in 3 weeks, the three of us, let's say we're all playing on Xbox, right? And we all run through it co-op. We've loved it, but we've beaten it. What keeps us in there?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the concern.
Well,
what other things are they going to offer?
I do have a question for you guys. So for a game like this, forget about multiplayer, end game, all that, just campaign wise, because you know, Destiny, I feel like the campaign was very short. The Division was very long. I think it was like a good 40 hours or so. How many hours do you think a game like this, Borderlands, should have? Like, it should be more than that, 40 or less? Parris?
40. Seems like a good number for this type of game. So I would expect something around there, to be honest.
You, Pete?
Yeah, 30 to 40 is probably a good solid number to get me as a dollar to hour ratio, I guess.
Okay. But there was also controversy during the review. Actually, it was after the review that's when I started seeing the tweets and everything. So Randy Pitchfork, he's the CEO of Gearbox. Yep. On stage, he was like, "Oh, we're not gonna have no microtransactions," and you see the crowd clapping and cheering. All right. I don't know what happened through that conversation that Game Informer posted an article saying, no, the game is going to have some microtransactions. So your thoughts about that? Was it Randy just misinforming the audience, the consumer, or you think it was more Game Informer just trying to start like a clickbait for people to go to the website and read the article? What do you guys think about that, man?
I don't know. I guess depending on whose side you go on, from the reveal and the live stream, I think we all watched it, live on Twitch or YouTube. His statement was there will be no microtransactions, and I think the confusion is the definition of microtransactions in Randy Pitchford's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. He made it seem as if we're not going to have any microtransactions. But if you look at it from what was stated on the screen, there is going to be cosmetic items for sale post-launch, which translates to microtransactions. The important question will be, will these post-game microtransactions be more valuable or more desirable than what is currently offered in-game? Or will they be the same, just giving the gamer the option to buy them at their leisure? That's probably the most important part to me. I don't have a problem with microtransactions because I understand the model, and we've had this conversation, so I don't want to drag that dead horse back out onto the road, right? But I think it was a misunderstanding. That doesn't warrant the 17 tweet storm blast that Randy Pitchford went off on. I think it was a misunderstanding. I do think that Randy Pitchford should probably go back to Google and figure out what microtransactions truly mean to the gamer and maybe reacquaint himself with that. But I don't know. I see both sides of it, but I don't know if it's a major topic. I just don't know if the way he went about it was the right way.
Yeah. Parris?
It really just comes down to, was it necessary for Game Informer to say what they said? Not really. I get they were trying to clarify his statements. We all knew what he meant. Everybody knew what he meant. That's why people cheered after he said it, because they knew this was about loot box stuff. This was about, it wasn't content that you had to pay for to be better in the game or to get started. It was all cosmetic. Everyone understood that, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, he misspoke. Game Informer said what they said to clarify it, but at the same time, the way the title of what they said was, it was a little clickbait, just a little bit, okay. It was to kind of gain attention to their article, right? That was the whole point of it. His response, out of line, shouldn't have done that. Absolutely should not have done that. Can't defend that at all. So at the end of the day, I understand what both were trying to do, but both were wrong too. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of these things of where we're at now in the internet and social media and, Game Informer. Because look, was it Andy McNamara? I believe it was. He wasn't even fucking there. He wasn't even there. That was the other part why Randy was upset about it. But at the same time, we're at this point where every damn thing has to be an outrage. Everything. It's like, Jesus Christ. This was a happy event. It was something to be celebrated. So why did we have to interject a little nitpick like that? Wow. Well, you said microtransactions, and really, you have to include cosmetic because cosmetic is also a microtransaction. I mean, that's all this was. That's all it was. I really could freaking care less that Randy Pitchford misspoke about this, because basically all he was saying, very similar to the Division, by the way, the only items that you have to pay for, they're not helping you in the game. They're optional. We're not forcing you to buy anything. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't, we're not ruining your experience. It's basically all he was saying in that. So it's just like, my God, this, like, every freaking YouTuber on the planet had to make a video about it, a freaking 3-hour video dissecting both sides. We're talking about it now. And at the end of the day, who freaking cares, really? Other than, I think Randy Pitchford needs to stop ranting on Twitter. At the end of the day, he winds up looking bad because of this, because of his rant. Because you know what? Let's be honest. He said exactly how he felt. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was Randy and Game Informer did a little freaking clickbaity article, I'm going to think the same exact thing. I'm going to say offline to you guys the same exact thing. I'm just not going on Twitter and say it. That's where he screwed up.
And the thing that we were talking about behind the scenes, I feel like the reveal was so well done, right? For the first time, I'm seeing the dev team going on stage, and everybody's like standing ovation, thanking the devs for making the game that they've been working on for 4 years. There was a lot of positive things during the conversation during the reveal, right? But I think this drama outshined that. And now everybody was focusing more on the negative side than the things that we liked during the review, So, yeah, I think it was a huge mistake from Randy to start talking on Twitter and making it worse. And, yeah, like you said, Parris, clickbait for sure from Game Informer. I don't know. It was very exhausting. Like, I even stopped reading all the tweets and everything. I was like, I don't want to read that, man. Let me focus on the good things, man. Because it got me excited about the game, man. I don't want to killed my vibes just because two people were going back and forth, man. Because I know Andy was replying back to Randy back and forth the whole time too, man. I don't know. It's exhausting as hell, man.
No, I get it. Now the important thing is that I'd like to mention in support of what Gearbox did is, they did 45 minutes on stage, right? We're not going to talk about all the other stuff, whatever. Then I think the great thing that they did was they allowed 5 hours of unfiltered, uninterrupted gameplay from all the other streamers and content creators that they invited out there. And they just said, here's the game, here's an OBS PC, go at it, have fun. That shows how much trust and confidence he has in the game, which is fantastic because you don't really see that. A lot of times, 95% of the times we'll go to an event and, we'll get, a console or a PC. And if we're allowed to stream, okay, we're only going to do this part. We're going to do this part. Or here, you're going to record it. You go home and you release it. For them to allow all of those content creators to stream it unfiltered and uninterrupted, live and direct from their machines, I think that was a fantastic move by them from a PR/marketing perspective, and kudos to them. So
yeah,
at the same time, while we're going to blast them, I think we should also give them some credit on that as well.
For sure.
That's
and that I think everybody had the freedom to do whatever they want in the game. So
they didn't stop them. They didn't stop or sandbox them or say, no, you can't go here. You can't go here. Only show. No, they said, here's your PC.
Hold out.
Bye. We're going to be out in the back room smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
I think that was fantastic.
And if you were watching the stream, they had a lot of screens, man, like for people to play. Yeah. So that was good, man. I know it was trending on Twitch #1, and there was people, also YouTubers there capturing a lot of footage. I think that's good, man. Now I wonder what's going to be next now from after E3, because I know they're going to be at PAX. They're going to GuardianCon, which I was surprised about.
That was cool.
And also they're going to PAX East. So that's good, man. Really, really positive. Really, really good. I can't wait to check it out during E3, man. So anything else before we go to the next topic?
Move.
No?
Let's go forward.
All right. So we're going to take a short break. And once we come back, I'm going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat 11 for the Nintendo Switch. Have a lot of things to say about that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. All right. So we're back here, Gamertag Radio. Thank you for listening to my review of Mortal Kombat 11. And Pete, he's a detective now. I know there was some Tom Clancy Easter egg or video. I don't know what this video was. I don't know if they were promoting a new game or promoting Ghost Wildlands. Like, I have no idea. But Pete, I'm gonna call him Sherlock Holmes for this.
Sherlock Pete.
Sherlock Pete.
Sherlock Pete.
So Pete, tell us what's been going on in the whole Tom Clancy world, man.
Okay, so back in Ghost Recon Wildlands, you guys recall last year there was an introduction of Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher, who was part of the game.
Yes.
If you paid attention to some of the things or some of the screens or whatnot in the game, there was mention of SkellCon or Skell. Skell is a technology firm within the Ghost Recon / Rainbow Six world and universe. That's it's a parts manufacturer company. In the game, you saw things like I think it was Miss Bowman or Sam Fisher was downloading files and taking them and putting them on some of the enemy factions computer service for distribution in the game. Just recently, there was a release of a website and YouTube marketing campaign from Ubisoft for an event called SkellCon, which is supposed to be happening on May 9th. It's going to launch at 11:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Nobody really knows what it entails, but on the website, if you looked at it, there was a chance for you to enter a username or password. Or it was actually an employee portal that you clicked, and you would put your username and password. If you look to the top right, there was an About Us that if you clicked, and it sent you to a video that walked you through. It was like a PowerPoint video sales deck of what Skell was going to do, Skell technology. And it was a walkthrough with an audio from Jace Skell, who is the purported CEO and president of Skell, talking about their new drones, how it could help the medical and farming and construction businesses. And then that's when people started going deep diving. And that's kind of like where I started going down the rabbit hole. In one of the most recent releases called Operation Oracle, there was a scene where you have Kate Bowman, who is your handler as one of the ghosts. She got an invite to SkellCon. There was also in the game, you'll see different parts. There's a drone area, there's a username and a password. And if you put those credentials into the website for Skell Technology, you would see that same video trailer for the drones. There's a PowerPoint. There's a PDF file that's like a sales order form for these. And then there's the last one, which talks about Project Aurora, which nobody knows about, as well as mentioning how one of the salespeople or one of the scientists for Skell has been kidnapped or is missing. somewhere in Bolivia. So, the people in the Tom Clancy, forums and Discord have been going wild and crazy, looking for clues and additional details. It's been pretty interesting. I've been digging deep because obviously I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan, and even on our Discord, we were talking. We were like, okay, is this going to be a Watch Dogs because it looks technology and computer related? But we all determined that Skell is actually tied into the Tom Clancy and Ghost Recon / Rainbow Six universe. So I'm curious, is it going to be like some kind of another hybrid introduction of a Sam Fisher character into Ghost Recon Wildlands? Is this going to be a whole new IP? If I'm not mistaken, I think Ubisoft has been teasing a new title for 2019 that's been unannounced. So could this be Parris's, next Splinter Cell? Because I know he's a huge fan of Splinter Cell. So could this be a new Splinter Cell game, or could this be a new Ghost Recon game that's separate and outside? Knowing the way Ubisoft likes to games, follow the games as a service model, I don't think we'll see a brand new add-on or a brand new title to Ghost Recon. I think if this is Ghost Recon related, it'll be as an add-on feature to the Wildlands title. Who knows? I would love to see this as an introduction to Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell all over again. I think it's been sorely missed in the gaming industry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Could it be a new Splinter Cell or a Watch Dogs? I don't know. Like, you're right. I don't see this as a Ghost Recon thing. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the whole thing. Parris?
No, I was going to say this goes back to an offline conversation Pete and I were having a few days ago. Yeah, you're correct, because I had said offline, oh, maybe this is Watch Dogs, but you're right that all these teases that they've been doing inside of Ghost Recon have been towards a Tom Clancy game. Mm-hmm. So whatever it's going to be, it's going to be in the Tom Clancy universe, and obviously Watch Dogs is not a part of Tom Clancy. Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see, and I agree. I doubt this is another Ghost Recon game. It's crazy to think that I feel like this current Ghost Recon Wildlands game still has a lot of gas in the tank. You know what I mean? Like, there's still so many things they could potentially do in that open world that I don't think they need to bring out a brand new game and a brand new world and characters and the whole thing. I think they can still do a lot of stuff just in this world. So I don't think it's going to be Ghost Recon. I would love it to be Sam Fisher, and they've already teased Sam Fisher inside of Ghost Recon Wildlands. So the precedent is there. I mean, I guess we'll see, man. I'm excited to see what this turns out to be. But again, and I hate gassing up Ubisoft, but I'm gonna gas up Ubisoft right now because look at what we're talking about. We're talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands, which came out in what, 2016,
2017, March of 2017. Yeah. 2 years now.
Yeah. So and they're still able to do things with the game. They've not given up support on the game. They're still adding things to it. They're still giving people a reason to go back to it. So I love how Ubisoft continues to support their games, no matter how successful they are. They continue to give it some type of support so that if you're a fan of that particular kind of game, you have a reason to go back to it. Or if you're a fan of another title and it all lives in that same world, they're putting features of another game or hinting towards another game inside that game to give you an incentive. So, you know what, because it's free right now with the little DLC they're doing, you could pick it up right now for free and play it. So maybe that sparks you to go, you know what? I like this Ghost Recon game. I'm going to go buy it and play the whole thing or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see these kind of little teasers, and I'm pretty sure this is obviously going to lead into some type of new Tom Clancy game, and we'll probably hear more full reveal at E3 would be my guess.
Yeah. And
do you think that, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, they just released Operation Oracle, which is a new add-on for Ghost Recon Wildlands. It features John Bernthal, aka the Punisher, right? And Shane from the Walking Dead series. So, he's been busy, and this is a whole new story arc, that adds on to the whole Wildlands universe. So, I, again, with the release of this, and then the tease launching just after the release of Operation Oracle. I don't think this is going to be a Ghost Recon, a new Ghost Recon title, etc. But I do see it as, a tie-in. Again, because of that tie-in with Sam Fisher from Wildlands, I think I'm gonna hedge my bets and go towards a new Splinter Cell, God willing.
Yes, same here too. Because if you play the last Assassin's Creed game, Odyssey, there's also a teaser there of a Splinter Cell in that game too. So most likely that's what it is, man. But my question to you guys: do you think it's better for Ubisoft to announce it this week, or save that surprise during E3 or like, let's say at their press conference or at a Microsoft press conference? Because being there at a press conference, forget about the convention, more just being there at a press conference and they show a surprise like, hey, this is a new game coming out pretty soon. That crowd reaction is very special, and it created a lot of buzz too, man. So what do you guys think? Is better for them to do that or no?
No, I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That was effective 10 years ago.
Right.
We live in a different age now, man. With social media, if I'm Ubisoft and I have a new game,
I'm going for the viral.
I'm doing it now because guess what? I'm going to own the news cycle now. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Everyone's going to be paying attention to what we're saying. It'll blow up on social media, Discord, everywhere else, right? So that's what I would do, because the whole let's get the crowd crazy. I'm just going to be frank here. I don't care about the freaking 500 people that are sitting in the crowd. I care about the 10 million people that are actually out there that potentially could be playing that game. And you're going to reach way more of them doing it early instead of at a press conference where you're fighting for the attention during E3 week. Yep. And look, I'm not trying to turn this into a E3 is not relevant anymore, but guess what? E3 ain't relevant anymore. I'm telling you this. So to answer your question, yeah, I would reveal it before E3, own the media cycle for a few days where I don't have to compete with it. And look, we have another news story coming up later on the same subject. Do it now. Don't do it at E3. Yeah. Use E3 to just elaborate on it further.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
No need to share the spotlight with other titles. You have you have it for the entire news cycle now, prior to, and then you just piggyback and vault off of what you do at E3. But right now, you get it out in the wild. Let people know. Hell, you have us talking at 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning right now about it to viewers, and then tomorrow morning people are going to be listening to it on the podcast. So. Absolutely. Yeah. Get it now. Get it out now, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. Think of it this way: to bring this full circle back to what we're talking about with Borderlands 3. What if they waited until E3?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Everything they just did at that reveal event wouldn't have the same impact. They wouldn't have been able to do what they did of own the news cycle for this week, have hundreds of streamers come out and YouTube content creators basically come out, stream the game, capture content on it, talk about it. Randy couldn't go on a Twitter rant. People would care. None of that. Because Randy would have on that same Twitter rant during E3, it would have been forgotten in about 5 hours because there would have been some new announcement and everyone would have moved on. Yep. Right.
I think,
and not that that's a positive thing. Look, news is news. So right. That just drew more attention to his game, whether he was right or wrong for doing that. But the point is, get out ahead of the madness that is E3 and own that cycle, own that news day with your game. All the attention's on your game.
Yep. No, totally agree. Totally agree. And now we're going to go to another topic, which kind of relates to what we're having right now. So I know that Activision was mentioned that the new Call of Duty game is coming out later this year, and I believe who is the developers you think, Pete, that's developing for this game that's coming out this year?
It's Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, right?
Yeah.
So one thing, that game is gonna have campaign. It's not gonna have battle royale, which is very interesting. But the game also is gonna have and I quote, game-changing experience. We don't know what it is yet, but we're probably gonna find out later this year. And the part that got the most attention that everybody's also talking about it is that this game is going to get revealed June 30th, the end of June. after E3, not before E3, not during E3, but after E3. Super, very interesting that's going to happen with Activision now. Your thoughts about all this, guys, and what is it that you think that could add new in the game that is not battle royale anymore?
I'm not sure what they'll add. So, I mean, we'll obviously see when we get closer to that date. But again, it just goes right back to what we were just saying. They're basically skipping E3 with what will be Activision's biggest game for this year, which will be one of the top 3 biggest games of this year. They're not showing it at E3. It won't be playable at E3. What does that say? Again, look, I'm not trying to turn to the E3 thing, but they realize that Call of Duty is big enough that they don't need E3 to be able to show their game. And they're not even doing it before. They're being gangsta enough. They're like, look, y'all can go do the E3 thing. We'll show it after. We'll have everyone paying attention to us after. They're probably going to tie it into in one of their Call of Duty World Leagues, if you ask me. You know what I mean? So why not? I mean, we've seen over the past decade how big Call of Duty has been. Love it or hate it, doesn't matter. It ain't what the conversation's about. But it has been the biggest game since 2007. I don't even think that can be argued at this point, right? And Activision knows it. And look, we know last year there wasn't a campaign because they couldn't finish it in time. So they pivoted and put the focus on the multiplayer, the zombies, and obviously the battle royale. I do think it's smart that they're not doing battle royale this time, because I think they should spin off battle royale into its own thing. They can absolutely just copy the Apex model with this, make it free to play, and have that game be supported on its own just through, obviously the loot boxes and all that stuff. But you know what you're getting into when you play it. I don't know if you played like the Alcatraz map out on Blackout. I don't know if you guys played it or not. I took a peek at it. It's fun as hell. I wish I honestly, I need to play it more. And I mean, I don't think Call of Duty's battle royale gets enough love right now because obviously Apex and Fortnite's taking all the attention from it. But going back to the original point, no, I mean, Call of Duty coming out after E3, in my opinion, is a smart move because, again, they're going to own the news cycle of it. All the content creators were probably all going to come out to some big event for it, and we're going to play it. And we're going to talk about it. Oh, man, the multiplayer is fun as hell. And, oh, this new mode they're doing. Hey, wow, I didn't think they were doing this. Wow, I can't wait till November. And then we're going to look at the NPDs, and this is the best-selling game of 2019 all over again. Rinse and repeat. That's what's going to happen.
And it's been working for them for years.
Yeah.
Every year it's been working for them. Yeah. Pete?
I'm curious what they're going to do with all of their other IPs, right? And shout out to them for releasing Sekiro, which has been, phenomenal critical success.
Love that game. Game is awesome.
But they lost Destiny.
Did they lose it or did they get rid of it?
Here's the thing. Their other major flagship, Overwatch, it's a dying whale. Right, that thing's going the way of the dodo soon too. From the way it's been looking, they have to be able to uber support Call of Duty because that's their goat. That's their golden goose. That's the one that lays the big bags of cash for that company. What else can they do? I mean, again, a game like Sekiro comes along every few years. That's the unicorn, but how do you subsidize that for the overall company in general? You can't support it based off of Candy Crush and things like that. So they have to, they have to go all in on Call of Duty. So this is also why they have 3 studios supporting that in general.
Mm-hmm.
So,
dude, I'm super curious. Like, what are they going to do at E3? If
whatever they want.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Well, here's the question: is it confirmed that Activision has a booth space there?
Well, the past few years, except last year, because last year they had an actual booth. But there's been a couple years that they had a
they tap
room,
out.
That's it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm curious if they've already been confirmed to actually have a booth at E3, because if they don't, why are they going?
Yeah. You know what?
What's the point?
Pete, Sherlock Pete, check out if there's any map. Go online and search, man. Google's your friend. Yeah, Parris. Dude. Yeah, I'm super curious because is there anything new coming out later this year for Destiny? Because if
they're not,
I mean but they're not.
That partnership's over. So again, I mean, Bungie's gonna have something. There'll be something Destiny related in the fall. I mean, we don't know if it's a full expansion yet, if it's another annual pass, whatever the case. But whatever it is, it sure as hell ain't gonna be showcased by Activision. We know that. So again, what are they showing? If Call of Duty's not there, if they're not just gonna have a big giant multiplayer Call of Duty booth at E3, what are they doing?
The only thing I could come up with, unless Activision is publishing a game that we don't know about, and they'll have it at one of the press conferences and probably have a little meeting room to show that, and that's about it.
Yeah, you would think a new IP would be the only thing that they have to announce, because it's not going to be.
Yeah, but even then, I don't hate ranting on this. I love ranting about this because if I'm Activision and I have a brand new IP and that's really all and I'm not going to show Call of Duty at E3, right? Am I really spending the millions of dollars that it's going to take to showcase a new IP on the show floor? Am I really doing that? Unless I just have so much confidence in it.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it post E3 with their dedicated event with with Call of Duty, because it can support its own thing. But maybe you use E3 to launch those brand new IPs that you don't have the confidence, or you don't have the community behind it as much.
Look at I agree. I agree what you're saying, Pete. I agree what you're saying, Pete. Hold on, Danny. I agree what you're saying, Pete. But why am I doing my own booth at that point? Go stick it at the Microsoft booth. You know what I'm saying? If it's a new IP, then I'm just debuting.
Right.
Hey, look, I'll rent a couple stations over at the Microsoft booth and let it be there.
It would have to be multi-platform, right? At that point, you don't want to do it. Maybe you do it some at the Sony, some at the thing.
PlayStation's not there though. Remember?
Right.
That was what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying. Look, if I'm Activision, because this is all speculation at this point, we don't know nothing. We'll probably look stupid in a week, but. If I'm Activision, I'm not having a booth at E3 if I don't have Call of Duty there. If I do have some new games I want to show, I'll have them at someone else's booth to show off. And then I'll just have a meeting room upstairs for the press, and I'll have behind closed doors meetings, and they can get a little hands-on up there. That's what I would do, personally. This is me.
Yeah, you know what I just remember? I know there's a game coming out, like a racing game from Activision. It's the Crash Bandicoot racing game for the Switch. That's the only thing I know that's coming out.
I'm not dropping $5 million on a booth to show off Crash Bandicoot Racing. That's just me.
I think they're gonna. I think Activision is gonna have something to show. It's not. Look, it worked with Sekiro. That game came out this year and it sold over 1 million copies. You know.
Okay, but again, back to my point. Did they have a Sekiro booth at E3 last year to show it off? They didn't need to.
But maybe there was a meeting room.
Something small. But that's what I'm saying. Something small. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm talking the E3 spectacle giant Activision booth where everyone's. Why are they doing that? Right?
Somebody clip that, please. Just clip that. Thank you, Parris.
No, I'm serious though. Why would they do that? Why? That doesn't make sense to me. If it's not Call of Duty, why would you do it? I don't get it.
Yo, I'm laughing because the real Parris is right. You will see that E3 like oof, oof, oh man.
As soon as you walk into the South Pole.
Yo, it was only 2 companies that would do that. It was Activision and EA. Every single time, man. Oh man.
I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm reinvesting my money into something. That's all I'm saying.
The only other title I can think of is maybe Warcraft, right? But I mean, is that enough to warrant a whole new booth at E3? It's not.
It's not.
Especially if they're gonna have their. I mean, it's Activision. They're gonna throw money anyways. You have to spend money to make money, right? So they're probably going to have a booth to showcase whatever they're going to highlight maybe not. I don't know. Because if they're going to do a whole event, do you do it at E3? Like, do you showcase anything at E3? It just makes no sense.
We're saying all this, and the rumors false, and Big Jack Call of Duty booth at E3. We're all wrong.
Hey, we're just having a conversation. Then we're gonna hear the beat. We're gonna be dancing and everything. Yeah. It's so funny. All right, so next week we're gonna have our Miss Leo E3 predictions. I know a lot of people are very excited about that. But here's the part that's like, it's gonna be kind of hard. There's not gonna be much going on at E3. This is like the year that we only know like a couple companies are gonna be there and promoting their games, but like the major third parties, like what else, man? They're gonna be promoting, man. You know, so
spoiler alert: we're not gonna have an Activision section for Miss Leo because we just did it,
and no PlayStation, and no PlayStation.
No PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's a question for you though. Here's a question.
Yeah.
PlayStation isn't at E3, but will they on their own have any kind of announcement during that week?
All right. So here's a mini Miss Leo prediction for E3 2019. Yes, they are going to have something very, very small. Have a little video stream, show the games that's coming out this year, VR, smaller games, and that's it. Move on. Nothing big, no big announcement, nothing like that. Very, very small. If they do add something big, maybe an announcement of the official date of The Last of Us, that's it. That's it. That's it. Do you guys agree or disagree?
No, I do think it'll be something minor. They're not going to announce like The Last of Us 2 is coming out on this date. They're not going to do anything like that or have a big video or anything. I do truly believe they're going to hold all that stuff for their own event later in the year. But something minor, something maybe towards some indie support they potentially could be doing, maybe more on the VR front, things like that. But yeah, as far as big PlayStation 5 announcements, you know, Death Stranding, Last of Us 2 announcements, they're not going to do any of that at E3 at all. I just don't see the point.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Head over to GamertagRadio.com. Post your comments and feedback, of course. Join our Discord server if you want. Have a conversation. Let us know if we're right or we're wrong. If you like the show, not. Let's talk. Go over there to Discord, discord.gg/GTR. That's discord.gg/GTR. And Pete, donations update for E3 2019. How's that looking?
All right. Shout out to Drunk Shaman using 100 bits earlier in the show. Driver C dropped a $50 donation. I may be quiet, but I really enjoy listening to the conversations you guys have. Keep up the good work. Remix 52 dropped 100 bits as well. And I think that's it.
That's it. All
and
right.
As usual, we can use your help covering any travel costs and, upgrading our equipment as we head into the E3 and the rest of the conference, the rest of the conferences for 2019. So anything you guys can do will help, and your contributions will, help us do more for you guys. So head on over to donate.gamertagradio.com, please.
Yeah, head over there. And hopefully by next week, we're probably going to have an update, hopefully, about our E3 status. We'll see. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up? That's it?
I think that's it.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
I just dropped that. I dropped it on Twitter, so y'all are welcome for that.
Yo, that dude, that
DJ Parris.
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting.
It's true though. That's what you would like to say. That's E3. That is absolutely E3. That's what they do, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is this?
Yeah. It was that and EA with their Madden loud as hell. Oh man, that is so fun. That was good. Yeah, I think Miss Leo this year is gonna be short. Dude, that's not much, man. And here's the thing. A lot of the companies are.
I just watched it. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. I'm gonna put it back on the stream. I think this deserves video. Hold on a second. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Oh no, where'd it go? It killed me. No. I'm an idiot. I just ruined it all. Here we go.
Back to my point. Did they have a Sekiro booth at E3 last year to show it off? They didn't need to.
But maybe there was a meeting room.
You're
Yo,
but that's what I'm saying. Something small.
So
that's
good.
exactly what I'm saying. I'm talking the E3 spectacle giant Activision booth where everyone's. Why are they doing that?
That was so good.
Oh, it's quality, dude. It's so good. Just clip that.
Back to
I like those freestyles. Freestyle moment. The best.
So good.
He's best.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was
man.
good. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna show it real quick on this on the thing. Let me get my homework up here real quick.
Oh, they asked me what I think of Logic and Eminem new song. It's pretty good. Homicide, really good. So sick.
3, 4.
Make sure to check it out. It's on iTunes and also Spotify, Pandora, other places.
Yep. All right. So going back to the Wildlands scale technology conversation, if you used this password, Epicon and 15034, it comes up with a sales order from, for Emmanuel Pichon in France for propulsion systems and an optotronic LED laser and whatever this could be, right? If you logged in with a Santos and password 10068, you got this trailer.
Hi, my name is Jace Skell. I'm the founder of Skell Technology. Ever since its creation, Skell Tech
And then the last one, it's a 5-minute voicemail. I'm not going to play it, but I mean, if you want, we could put the passwords and everything, the usernames up in Discord for people that are interested. But
yeah,
it's amazing the amount of effort and work that they've put in just for this, just for these little teasers and reveals. So I'm curious. I really want to know. I want to know, what do they have lined up for the next part of the Tom Clancy universe.
Yeah, I think it's Parris has to leave.
Yeah,
I think that this has to be Splinter Cell. It has to be.
Yep.
It has to be, because, like you said, there was content, a DLC content, which was for free for Ghost Recon, which has Sam Fisher. If you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, also there's like a little teaser in the game that you find the mask, the goggles. You'll find that in the game too. So it has to be that. I think it's time. It's time for a brand new Splinter Cell game. Now, the question that I have is this going to be a game that's coming out for multiple consoles? current and next gen consoles. That's what I think. That if when this comes out, it's gonna be available Xbox One, the next Xbox, PlayStation 4, the next PlayStation 5, and also PC. That's what I think.
I mean, it's got to, right? It has to these days with all the with you've got PS5 and the new Xbox consoles. Has to be next gen, you would think.
Yeah. Yeah, my family's wilding out downstairs, man. I think I have to bounce. I have to bounce. You know, they're wilding out, dude. Like I have to lower the mic and put it up. It's gonna be interesting. I didn't need the show today.
That's the fun. That's the fun.
Man, so good. But it's yeah. I can't wait to talk about about E3, Pete. Hopefully next episode we'll talk about it. We got some positive stuff to talk about.
Awesome.
But please continue to donate. Please continue to donate.
My audio should be up in
All right.
10 seconds. Yeah, it's Sunday. I think I'm going to go hit the gym, try to work off some of this alcohol sweat I'm building up here.
Yeah, my dad just got back from the Dominican Republic, so he bought some bottle of liquor from there.
He brought he bringing the Brugal in.
No, well, Brugal and also Barcelona. He bought both bottles. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
All right.
By the way,
what's up?
Not 100%, but I might be going to DR for something pretty big.
Nice.
GTR related.
Ooh.
I'll let you know. Hopefully it goes through.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Anything else, Pete? Anything else?
I think that's it. Let's call it. And
yeah, man.
Have a great rest of your weekend, folks.
Yeah, you too, man. Oh, by the way, Wednesday, the St. Jude Play Live series continues, and on Thursday, I'm gonna have a new audio, which I had a long conversation with my friends at Cheddar Sports, the Cheddar Esports, and we talked about esports, a bunch of other stuff, man. So it was a great conversation, great conversation, man. So,
awesome.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it, Pete.
All right, everybody have a great weekend. And,
don't drink too much.
Oh no, always drinking.
Peace, y'all. Later.
All right.
Peace. All right, Pete. Have fun.
Peace.